if it's someone who's going through, launch, any of the major indications, my recommendation is always finding qualified psychotherapists.
Mm-hmm.
Two, if you look at it, from two sides of the spectrum, at least the current dialogue around psychedelics, some will say, well, it can cure sickness or it can optimize wellness. So on, the optimizing wellness, a lot of people want to explore altered states of consciousness. They want that edge. Microdosing is, becoming ever popular. So it would depend on, the person and what they're trying to achieve. I think on the right side of the optimizing wellness and the use of psychedelics and the microdosing trend, an anecdote of a gentleman who was microdosing I talked to a year ago. It was for a brand, microdosing brand. And I said, so like, how's it been going? And he'd been microdosing for 7 months. He's like, I'm not sure, but my wife no longer thinks I'm an asshole. And just in that little clip, I was like, whoa, this guy was microdosing and self-perceptual. It didn't change anything else to his protocol, his diet, anything. And he just kind of, for him, that specific person, it made him a little kinder. And then he got into it, his work relationships. He's now being accused of being a better listener and not a bad boss and all these other good things. So it really depends on what the person is looking for. And if it's, an intractable mental health disorder or disease, then the route of, finding qualified people, I would say medicalization is kind of where it's going. But there's also the ability to sit in circles. And we're seeing a lot of that in the decrim movement. They're saying, hey, it's not just take these drugs, because you need that support, whether it's a shaman, psychiatrist, you need some container to process this. Like, the psychedelic doesn't make the change. It kind of opens up the possibility to make the change. And then it's a lot of hard work, on that former side. So it really depends. Obviously, you had mentioned some names, Rick and Matt's, and, I think all the nonprofits who have been following forever are always the greatest places to start, because it's usually informed. There's no bias about profit. So starting with the Beckleys, the Hefters, the Matts, just learning, seeing what they've been working on for the last decades is a really good start. You also have, about a half a dozen psychedelic media outlets that didn't even really exist up until the last couple of years, and or were really hard to find, that are becoming more prominent. And those are always great resources.